Just take us inside the collapse of BlockFi. What exactly happened here, and perhaps most critically, why?
Well, a lot of the contagion that's happened this year in the cryptocurrency industry comes from the idea that exchanges were offering yield when there was really no yield being extracted from the platform itself. So you have fractional reserve lending taking place, especially at companies like BlockFi. And in the end, the liabilities extended beyond where the assets were. When you had any lapse in confidence, you see a bank run, and the bank run led to bankruptcy because in cryptocurrency, there is no lender of last resort. And that's basically what's happened here over the last couple months.
And I just think it's fascinating that BlockFi's top 10 creditors are owed something around 1.2 billion US dollars. How much of that money are they likely to get back in your view, Nik?
Well, it's probably a small fraction of that. And we look at what happened in FTX, we see that up to $8 billion of customer funds are likely to never be seen again. And that is because the sister hedge fund of FTX, Alameda Research, likely gambled all those deposits away. And so once that happened, you see the unfolding of all the calamities across the cryptocurrency industry. BlockFi was just another victim of overextending itself to this FTX exchange, which people had a lot of trust in. But in the end, when we really dug into the details, it was a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, and look, the tide went out and you could see who was swimming naked, as the saying goes. And what we're seeing across the sector right now is the FTX Alameda collapse continuing to have a contagion and a ripple effect. If you look at what happens next here, just in your view, Nik, how do we restore trust in these operators and credibility in these markets when it seems as if there is so little of that trust and credibility to go around?
Well, let me bring you back really quickly to 2017. We had a massive bubble in initial coin offerings. This is the ICO bubble that really took the cryptocurrency industry down for a couple years after it collapsed in 2018. So we're seeing a repeat of this cycle in which a lot of companies come into the crypto industry and they think that they can reinvent the wheel. And what we see is a failure time and time again. So we have another cycle in crypto and a bunch of companies going bankrupt in 2022. I think that this is just another cycle for Bitcoin in which a lot of the companies that really were extending themselves beyond their ability and going after returns that weren't necessarily part of what the industry was built for, which is transactions, store of value. If you go beyond that and you try to get into initial coin offerings, which is trying to mimic the stock market, or you're trying to get into DeFi or decentralized finance, which is trying to mimic the fixed income market, we're really seeing crypto go beyond maybe its core use case, which is transactions, financial empowerment, and savings technology.